Hello everyone, welcome back to Faith on Friday. As you know from your form time activities this week, this month is Black History Month. And we thought, what better way to celebrate Black History Month than finding out about 5 black saints that we can take inspiration from in our lives today. So, let's find out. First up, we've got Saint Anthony of Alexandria. This guy was born into a really rich family, and his parents had loads of money. And when they died, he inherited it all. But instead of keeping it all for himself and spending it on loads of great things, he gave it to the poor. And instead decided to live his life as minimally as possible. Sometimes people call him the first ever monk. That's not technically true, but he was one of the first ever monks and helped spread the idea of monasticism, big word, throughout the world. Next up, we've got Saint Pierre, who was born into slavery in Haiti in the 1600s. Enslaved, he moved up to New York and became a really well-known hairdresser all the way up until he was freed, aged 45. Throughout his life, he did tons of charity work and invited orphans into his home and gave them shelter and gave them opportunities to learn new things and learn trades so that they could be successful in life. Number 3 is Saint Josephine. She was originally from Darfur, which is now known as Sudan, to a very well-respected family in her village. She was captured as a slave by some Arab slave traders, aged 7 or 8, and as a slave had multiple owners which treated her absolutely horrifically. After a brief visit to Venice, she refused to leave, and after going through the Italian court systems in 1889, it was declared that Paquita had never legally been a slave, and so was free for the first time in her adult life. 4 years later, she began training to be a nun with the Canossian sisters and took her vows in 1896. As a nun, she was described as having a strong passion for helping others and was known for her cheerfulness and smile. One way she was described was having her mind always on God and her heart always in Africa. The 4th saint on our list today is Saint Martin de Porres, who is the patron saint of mixed race people. He was born in 1579 in Lima, Peru, and became a monk only at age 24. He had a real strong devotion to Jesus in the form of the Eucharist, and throughout his life was known as being inclusive to absolutely everyone he met. He used to minister to Spanish nobles in his area and the African slaves exactly the same as each other. He in particular was known for having some extraordinary gifts in his life, and he also opened an orphanage. Number 5, we've actually got 2 saints because these guys come as a bit of a double whammy. They are Saints Perpetua and Felicity, and although we don't know too much about Felicity's life, we do know that Perpetua was persecuted, try saying that really fast, throughout her life and was eventually imprisoned for her faith at the age of 22. And that's where she met Felicity, a young pregnant slave who history doesn't really seem to know much about, but they were both eventually killed for their faith. So there we go guys, there are 5 black saints to take inspiration for this week for Faith on Friday. Before you leave, I just wanted to take the opportunity to show you the amazing contributions we have had to the food bank collection over the last few weeks. You guys have done an absolutely phenomenal job and you should be really proud of yourselves. So yeah, have a great weekend, see you next week, bye!